guys, today, as the title says, I am doing my April wrap-up and May TBR. And I'm filming a little early because I have to, one, I need to get used to filming early, and two, I have to turn in a bunch of stuff. So let's get started with what I read in April. A lot of these books I don't have with me anymore. So the first thing that I read is I reread The Captive Temple, Jedi Apprentice number 7 by Jude Watson. I enjoyed it much more than number 6. Then I reread online From Far Away, Volume 9 by Kyoko Hikawa. Oh, I'm so glad that I can reread this series. It is so good. I love it. Then I read Battle Magic by Tamora Pierce. I will link my review of it down in the doobly-doo. It is 5 out of 5 stars. The best Tamora Pierce book I've ever read. The best she's ever written. Oh, it's so good. Then I read The Saga of Rex by Michael Gagne, however you say that name. I don't have it with me. It is mostly not words, it's mostly pictures, so I read it in 10 minutes, had to turn it in, but it's super cute. Another 5 out of 5 stars. Then I reread The Day of Reckoning, Jedi Apprentice number 8 by Jude Watson. Another great reread. I enjoyed it too. These aren't as great as I remembered them being, but they're really good. Then I read The Watermelon Seed by Greg Pizzoli. And for my TBR jar reading challenge, I was supposed to read an award-winning novel, and I didn't know that. So for a big chunk of the month, I only had The Watermelon Seed. This was a run-up on the Pulitzer Award, so it's technically not an award-winning. I don't know. I didn't really do what I was supposed to for the month. Then I read Injustice: Gods Among Us, Volume 1 by Tom Taylor, Jeremy Rapak, and Mike S. Miller. I gave this a 4 out of 5 stars. This is incredibly depressing. I have a review for this, so I will link that down in the doobly-doo as well. But basically, Superman goes crazy and becomes evil, and Bruce is on the opposite side. Then I read Dengeku Daisy Volume 15 by Motomi Kyosuke. This was another 5 out of 5 stars. It is the second to last volume in the series. I only have one more side chapter to go before I'm done with it. So sad that it's ending, but OMG, Dengeku Daisy is one of my favorite manga ever. The main character is my favorite female lead ever. I love it. It's so, so good. 5 out of 5 stars, undoubtedly. And then I read Injustice: Gods Among Us Volume 2 by Tom Taylor, Michael S. Miller, Tom Derenick, and Bruno Redondo. This was another 4 out of 5 stars. This is really hard to read, you know? Superman is evil. There's all these depressing things. He keeps killing his friends, and it's so hard to read, and yet it's so addicting, and I have to know what happens next, and I can't wait to get volumes 3 and 4 from the library. My review is for the first 2 volumes where I go into more details. And then the last thing that I read in the month of April is Pride and Prejudice, a graphic novel by Jane Austen, Robert Dees, and Ian Edgington. I gave this a 5 out of 5 stars. This is really interesting. I have not read the book. I have seen the 2005 movie and the Hallmark miniseries. And I love both of those for different reasons. I like certain things the miniseries does better, and I like the movie and how it does some things better. And then this was really interesting because it was kind of a mesh between the two, because again, all of them are based on the same work, and it's the same story told 3 different ways, and I just really like that without changing anything. I'm not really huge on retellings with different versions, but I like seeing them pull different things from the book that I still haven't read that I need to read. So that's everything that I read in the month of April. Not a lot. You may be going, well, first you didn't read the award-winning novel for the TBR jar. I started it, I just didn't get into it. So I'm currently reading The Hero and the Crown by Robin McKinley. This is the winner of the Pulitzer Award. I'm on page 63. It's just that a lot of royalty aren't portrayed very well. And this princess is being bullied by her cousin who isn't as prominent, and the king kind of fears the people. And I'm like, that's not how kings were. What? Just look at history. The kings didn't care what a peasant thought. They just killed them and killed them and killed them and killed them. Most accurate I've ever seen about royalty would be Game of Thrones. It's rated M with nudity and blood and guts and gore for a reason. They were terrible. Kings were normally terrible. And so I'm having trouble getting through that. I'm so tired of reading about badly portrayed royalty. They always read fake to me. They always read holier than thou or incredibly brutal, and it's like, I mean, look at the Bible. Haven't managed to finish that, so I did not complete my TBR challenge. I am still reading Dreams of Gods and Monsters. I am only on page 264. It's just going slowly. I'm also in the middle of The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson, book 1 of the Mistborn series. I am almost done with this one. I am on page 377. This is also a dark fantasy, heavy fantasy. It's not easy to read. Just last night I had trouble going to sleep because I'd been reading this. They just executed a ton of innocent people for no reason, just because the king wants people to know that he's to be feared. A little more accurate on how kings could end up being, but yeah, I'm not going too great. So my TBR for May, I need to read these 3. That's the biggest part of my TBR. And that's all I'm planning on for the main part. Now moving on to hashtag AYearAthon, the theme for May is rereadathon. I have some things that I am in the middle of rereading. I wanted to read Queen of the Darkness and Dreams Made Flesh by Anne Bishop in October. I kept saying that I need to read them. Well, finally, I'm going to read them for hashtag AYearAthon. Some of these I have to read before Queen of the Darkness, and then there's a story in here I have to read after Queen of the Darkness, so these 2 I'm going to attempt to read. That shouldn't be too hard. And I want to read The Fight for Truth and The Shattered Peace, books 9 and 10 of Jedi Apprentice by Jude Watson. I want to get through these. I forgot about my TBR jar challenge for this month. I need to finish the one from last month because, again, didn't read an award-winning novel. Currently reading that. Okay, going with green, my favorite color. Read a book you gave up on before and finish it. This book I gave up on. It's one that I can read in the month on top of the other books that I'm reading. Oy vey. I know what it is. It's holding up my camera. And my camera fell. Alright, so adding to my TBR, I'm going to read Tiger's Curse by Colleen Howick. Yeah, so this is a book. Oh, and by the way, I didn't talk about this in my haul because I didn't figure it out. So this came with a bookmark, right? And I realized this is a bookmark that's very similar to the ones that are at book signings. Month goes by, and then it's signed! Goodwill, damaged, paperback, but it's signed, so I'm going to hang on to this. I think I'll just keep this. Besides, it's in better quality than all my hardbacks. So, back to the rest of the video. These are the books that I'm planning on reading in the month of May. Again, I'm going to be reading more things that I get from the library: Injustice Gods Among Us, volumes 3 and 4, other Batman and New 52 comics. But that's about it that I'm planning on reading. Alright, thank you guys so much for watching. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to see more. Every Friday is a book review. I'm still working on that. Again, I have orientation later today, because I just got a job, so I have no clue how that's going to work. Good luck with your reading, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! Damn it. Come on. You're poking me in the back. This was really good. Stop. I'm having a terrible day today, guys. I am having a terrible day. Just a god-awful day. Stop it. And then the last... Oh, I didn't mark this down. Endington and Dees. That's what that's. The 2005 movie. And I am also in the middle of Mistborn by Brandon Sanderson. I'm saying Mistborn, that's not what it's called. And I also want to read The Shattered Peace and The Fight for Truth books. That's wrong. And I also want to read The Shattered Peace and... That's not right. I'm recording, aren't I?